afternoon and welcome. This is the July 12th Grants Advisory Commission meeting. I'm Chair Allison Carroll, and we're glad to have you guys here tonight. We'll start our meeting off with a call to order. And that was my error. And next we're going to do the roll call. Could we have the clerk call to the roll, please?
Chair Carroll.
Here.
Vice Chair Gibson.
Here.
Youth Commissioner Lung.
Here.
Commissioner Perez.
Here.
Commissioner Reed.
Here.
We have excused absence for Commissioner Haywood and Commissioner Kriz. And Commissioner Acosta is not here.
Okay, she might have gotten tied up with the
Yeah.
activities outside, so we'll see if she can join us in a few minutes. Wonderful. Well, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. If I can get out of the chair. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Again, welcome. We have a couple different orders of business, but the first item is public comment, and this is the time if you wanted to make a public comment on something that's not on the current agenda for this evening, you're welcome to come up to the podium, state your name, and share your comments. Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment. Our next item is the minutes from our last meeting on June 14th. So they were attached to our agenda. Did the commissioners have a chance to review those? And are there any motions either to accept as provided or any amendments to the minutes?
Commissioner Perez with a motion to accept as provided.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Commissioner Reed, second.
Thank you. So Commissioner Perez has moved to accept the minutes as they have been prepared, and Commissioner Reed has seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no? The motion passes. Thank you. And so we want to welcome everyone who's in attendance tonight. We will be handing out checks, but we do have another order of business just ahead of the check presentation, and we thought this would be very relevant to you all, so that's why we placed it before the check presentation. And this is on what's an acronym ARPA grant funding and a subcommittee formation. So staff is going to share a little bit more about that, and it's kind of a new thing we're doing this year, and go ahead and share with us the exciting news.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Chair Carroll. As Chair Carroll mentioned, before we distribute the 2022-2023 grant awards, we did move one very important item up on the agenda. I feel like those here in person tonight and those possibly watching at home are going to be excited to hear this. So earlier this year, City Council granted $1 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds, also known as ARPA funds, to the Grants Advisory Commission. These funds will be distributed to the Roseville community by our nonprofits. So the City of Roseville ARPA funds are allowed to be distributed to replace lost public sector revenue. These funds are not restricted for use for COVID funds. They very well may be used for COVID-related programs, but it's not a requirement. Since the Commission already has an established process, the Grants Advisory Commission will disperse these funds as part of our normal grant award process. Distribution of the $1 million will occur over the next 3 years. The first $350,000 will go out as of the 2022-2023 grants cycle. It's going to be an expedited cycle, and that's mainly what we're here to talk about tonight. Another $350,000 will be added to the 2023-2024 funding cycle, which begins technically with this meeting. And that will go, again, that $350,000 will be added to the normal CBF and REACH funding. The final $300,000 will be added to the 2024-2025 Grants Advisory Commission cycle. So in order to distribute the 2022-2023 ARPA funding, prior to the end of the calendar year, we worked with the city manager and the city attorney's office to create an expedited funding calendar that you can see up here on this slide. It reflects our regular cycle, but it's obviously quite a bit expedited. We're requesting tonight that the full commission review the draft schedule for obvious issues and errors. And once the draft cycle is completed, we're going to be selecting a subcommittee of no more than 3 commissioners that will review, score, and recommend funding for this ARPA cycle. Applications are going to be available in Zoom grants starting next Monday, July 18th. So I'm very busy working on that new application in Zoom grants. They're going to be due by August 12th, and I know that that's a tight turnaround, but again, we're trying to get these funds out by the end of the calendar year. The subcommittee will review the applications on their own, as per usual, and then they'll meet virtually outside of regular grant commission meetings to score and make funding recommendations. The ARPA subcommittee will then present their final decision to the full commission at the October 11th Grants Advisory Commission meeting for consideration and approval. Staff will then present the Grants Advisory Commission funding recommendations to City Council in November. We're looking at the November 2nd council meeting. So I know there's probably a lot of questions, so I'm going to just go through a little bit more and just let you know that we did determine that the application questions, even though this is for ARPA funds, the applications are going to, the questions on the application will remain the same. They meet the spirit of the additional funds. The main thing that we're changing is the scoring. The ARPA funds require that they be distributed to City of Roseville residents. So we want to make sure that the current programs that we're funding tonight aren't being overfunded, and that again the funds are distributed to the City of Roseville. So we changed up the scoring questions and the scoring rubric. Projects and programs must still fall within the 5 social determinants of health, but we are giving, the funding categories will remain the same, and priority will be given to applications that request $20,000 or more, and if they are one-time programs or projects, or operational mission support for new programs or expansion of programs. That's the main, we're trying, again, not to duplicate projects and programs and funding. We are aware that this special cycle will require extra effort from not only our nonprofits, but also the Grants Advisory Commission. And we just want to thank all of you for the amazing work that you do for the residents of Roseville. Our hope, again, is that the additional funds approved for this fiscal year will not only assist to expand current programs, but will also allow for new programs and projects. So with that, I think we're going to take questions and comments from the commission, and then we can move to public comment if necessary.
So do any commissioners have questions or comments on the expedited funding cycle? Did we want to clarify on that? So on the calendar, the July 18th, that talks about the link to Zoom grants, and applicants are encouraged to watch the January 2022 workshop. That's just really, it's not the same timeline, obviously, as last year, but that's just to get them familiar with kind of what we look for when we review the grants, how the process works. So we recognize that's almost last year, but, well, half a year ago. But that's not a typo. That's just if you've not applied before, you weren't there at that meeting, just so you can have, information that we share with applicants during the regular cycles.
The other thing that I'm going to be doing as well, there are a few little slight changes and things that, we did get we were able to develop some FAQs from the last cycle. So I'm also putting together an FAQ page that I'll be adding to the Grants Advisory Commission webpage. So I'll link that as well.
I have a general question. So given, again, expedited cycle, if someone learns about this after this meeting and has questions, they would contact you.
Absolutely.
And the email, I don't know if we would, if you picked up the agenda, it's in the packet there, tisom@roseville.ca.us. So.
And my information is also on the Grants Advisory Commission. You can email or call.
Any other comments or questions from our commissioners? Okay. And so we'll take questions, if there are any, from people who are here, and then we'll have an opportunity to work on a subcommittee. Okay. All right. Anyone in the audience who has a question or comment on this item, feel free to come share.
Bruce Howdershelt, 509 Silverhorn Drive, Roseville, California. Will there be an infographic, or how will this be communicated? How can the City Council help communicate this? And since it's a compressed, expedited process, how can we make sure the word gets out? And then the second question is, you have to be a Roseville resident, or you have to have a business address or a nonprofit address in Roseville?
Okay. So I can address both of those. The main way we're going to be getting this information out is our communications team has all the information on this, and they're putting together a news story. They're going to be getting it out to the Press Tribune. They're going to be getting it out on social media, and again, obviously on our website. I will be sending out an email with most of this information, with links to the application actually on Zoom Grants and our website, to all of the nonprofits that have ever applied for the grants, as well as all of the nonprofits and things that apply for our CDBG and all of the other funding programs that we have out there. So we'll be getting it out there far and wide. So yes, I think council will be able to, share those social media posts and things like that. And when it comes to who can apply, again, the nonprofit does not have to be located in Roseville. They have to serve Roseville residents. That's the main thing. And we want to make sure that the money, this is ARPA funds for the city of Roseville. So we want to make sure that these funds are going back, not going back, but staying in the city of Roseville.
Any other questions? Well,
And stunned into silence.
who was surprised? I don't know. All right. Well, so I think then we need to move to which commissioners would be on the subcommittee. And I think you requested that we let you know, and apparently we had more than 3, so you're going to just draw them out. Could I request not to be in? I think I told you already I was not. Okay.
Yes. I do have that information. Sorry, my computer turned off while I was yammering on. So let me get that information up.
And just to clarify, did you hear back from all the commissioners?
No.
Oh.
So that is
Okay.
a question that I have. Commissioner Reed, did you have any conflicts with participating in on the ARPA funding commission?
No, I just had preference for the other one.
For the other one, okay. There was a lot of preference for the refinement committee, which is, I can imagine, because everyone has a lot of opinions on that. So I had one, let's see here. Sorry, I started it early on, so let me look.
But you do have more than 3 who were interested in this, or you don't and were drafting?
Don't think so. So I believe what we'll do is, unfortunately, I didn't hear back from Commissioner Acosta, and she's not here tonight. So I think what we'll do is we will have the 3 that I think will go is Commissioner Gibson. She had a preference for this one, and then I think we'll have Commissioner Kriz, and then Commissioner Acosta.
Okay. Does that, any commissioners who are present have any comments or concerns with that? Okay, do we need a motion to form the subcommittee? And
Yeah, let's take a motion, and then we'll also need a motion on approving all the materials that'll go along with the ARPA cycle.
okay. Okay. So I'd like to entertain a motion first to appoint Commissioners Gibson, Kriz, and Acosta to the subcommittee for the ARPA grant funding evaluation.
It's Commissioner Perez. I'll make a motion.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Commissioner Reed, a second.
Okay, thank you. All right, it has been moved by Commissioner Perez and seconded by Commissioner Reed that Commissioners Gibson, Kriz, and Acosta serve on the ARPA Grant Funding Subcommittee and Evaluation Team. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion passes. Thank you. All right. So then the next motion is, I would entertain, is to approve the materials that staff had shared as far as the process, the timeline, application weighting, scoring.
Commissioner,
Materials as presented by staff.
Materials as presented by staff. And it sounded like Commissioner Gibson was making a motion.
Commissioner Gibson so moves to approve all presented materials by staff for the ARPA funding cycle.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Commissioner Perez, second.
Thank you. It has been moved by Commissioner Gibson and seconded by Commissioner Perez to accept the materials as presented by staff for the ARPA grant funding cycle. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed by saying no. That motion passes as well. Moving right along. All right. Our next item of business then is the Citizens Benefit and Reach Fund check presentations. So we will be handing out those, and you have kind of a group that you want to distribute to us so we can, and then we would come to the podium and share. We'll call up the organization, and we'll have probably the amount and the project fund that's being funded.
If there's an organization that has arrived and hasn't checked this, I think somebody.
Thank you.
Okay, so would you like us just to go in order
You guys
here?
just want to go in order. So, yeah, Ryan, if you want to start.
So,
just mark down.
organization
Policy.
he gets to go first.
Yeah, if you want to just go down to the.
We probably should let someone else go first. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yep, and you can just
Right.
announce who, this is our youth commissioner, and Ryan's going to call the organization name. You're welcome to join him at the podium. He will provide the check. If you have someone who wants to take a picture, he'll pose for a photo op, as we all will.
We have Placer Food Bank.
We're already going out of order, I can tell. Oh, I guess we don't have to do anything but announce.
With Ryan. Good.
Is this good right here? Sure. Thank you.
Placer Veterans Stand Down.
Thank you very much. Is it okay to say a few words?
Yeah.
Okay. On behalf of the Placer Veterans Stand Down, we truly appreciate your generous contribution to us. We've been able to help over 208 veterans this last stand down, and this money will help us pay the bills that we've incurred doing that, and we look forward to doing that again next year. We had the biggest and largest stand down in 3 years because of COVID over this year in the first week of May. So once again, thank you for your generous contribution, and we'll use the money wisely. That's okay. We have the committee behind us and the American flag. Thank you. Without you, we wouldn't have the ability to move forward and help our vulnerable veterans. These are our board members, our secretary, and our grant writer, Kristen.
1, 2. It'll turn out to be a self-run.
We have the Placer Advanced Robotics and Technology.
Oh, you like this one?
I love that.
This is his favorite, I think.
We don't bite. Come on up.
Such a gentleman.
You guys want a picture?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
It's funny, they're all the same age. Cute. On their t-shirt.
Get new shirts.
Please help me congratulate the child advocates of Placer County. Yes.
Thank you so much to the commission. I really appreciate it. We were able to serve twice as many families as we did the previous years. So we have 53 families now in those two programs that you funded. We did a lot of collaborations, which is great. We worked with the First United Methodist Church. We did some vaccination clinics with them and with health and Health Education Council in Roseville. We work with the Latino Leadership Council and a lot of other great nonprofits that are here. So thank you so much.
Oh, you can touch each other.
And we always love to hear from you all, so no pressure, but you're welcome to say a few things. And help me congratulate the United Cerebral Palsy Organization.
Thank you, everybody, for accepting and supporting UCP. We are excited to be serving the city of Roseville. We currently serve 250 families in respite care, and with this funding, we will be expanding in, our marketing so we can serve more families and hopefully even employ more people from the city of Roseville. So thank you. Thank you.
And my next one is St. Vincent de Paul. Please help me congratulate them.
Don Fraser, I'm the president of St. Vincent de Paul in Roseville. Pleasure to be with you tonight. Thank you so much. The Grants Commission has supported our mission for many years now. We are committed to try to end homelessness and hunger here in our community, to prevent it from happening, because as you know, if we can keep it from happening, then we'll be way ahead of the game in terms of costs and all of that. We currently serve about 800 people out of our food locker every month, believe it or not, and these are people that get groceries once a month. So the money that you have donated to us will go towards keeping our food locker operating here in Roseville. So we thank you very much.
And next will be Commissioner Carroll to present the next checks.
Do I sit over there? Because when I see the pictures,
Congratulate the Tommy Apostolus Fund.
Thank you so much for this generous donation. This year we were able to help 498 children and take them shopping during the holidays. Even in the time of COVID, we had so many wonderful volunteers that came out and helped us shop, and then we presented the gifts to the children. And our most prolific shopper was our vice mayor here. So we invited him to, oh, that's true. We just kept on giving him applications, so it worked. So thank you so much. This will help us again. We're hoping to shop with children in the store this year, and we invite y'all to join us on the first Saturday in December. So.
Next, we have the Pedal Connection.
Thanks so much. Thank you all so very much. I mean, we're just thrilled to be here amongst all these amazing nonprofits that we love and support, and to be part of this community is amazing. And with your support, like I said, we would love to have you all come in and see the difference that you really, really do make. Now more than ever, kindness really, really does matter. And to let people know that they matter, especially those in hospice care and those in senior living facilities, you're making it happen. We've just super proud of what we do, and we couldn't do it without your support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Well, Judy's on my board too. She's hard. Do you want to be in the picture? Yeah, come be in the picture.
One, two, three.
And the last one I have is a touch of understanding.
Thank you so much for this support. Because of your support, A Touch of Understanding was able to pivot our programs to virtual and then partial in person. As schools moved through their regulations during COVID, and we weren't able to be fully in person, and we are very, very excited to be fully in person this next school year, reaching thousands of Roseville students with our message of, as it was just said by the Pedal Connection, kindness, as it's more important now than ever, empathy, respect, understanding that our differences are good, and they bring us together more than divide us. So thank you.
One, two, three.
All right, next we have Commissioner Gibson to share.
I have to bring my glasses. Defending the Cause Regional Allowance.
Thank you. Thank you so much to the Commission. We've been meeting the needs of vulnerable kids and families in our region for the last 6 years, but this grant is helping us expand that with brand new software for meeting volunteer and donation needs to over 56 area nonprofits and agencies that we partner with. And we're excited to see the region of Sacramento, but especially the people in Roseville, become more generous and really help, because the needs of vulnerable youth and families have gone significantly higher in the last 2.5 years. And we know that there's a community out there that's waiting and willing to serve. They just need to know where to plug in. So we're very excited for this funding. So thank you.
One, two, three. See, yours is much better.
Congratulations to the Keaton's Child Cancer Alliance.
On behalf of Keaton's Child Cancer Alliance, I want to thank you all so much for such a generous donation. We have the opportunity of serving over 300 families, local families, each year that are touched by pediatric cancer, and these funds will directly support our Thriving Together program, which focuses on the mental and emotional well-being of our families. Just knowing that childhood cancer does affect every individual member of the family. And so with these funds, we'll be able to just bring the community together, bring the families together, and provide that support throughout the year. So thank you so much.
One, two, three.
Oh, this one I don't need my glasses for. The Oakmont Parent Club.
Thank you so much. So Oakmont is the second oldest high school in the city of Roseville, so we really are a heritage site. We do serve a large amount of underfunded and at-risk community or students. So the last 5 years, we've been able to raise and donate $20,000 towards our graduating seniors to go towards either collegiate scholarships or trade schools, because we believe that's just as important to our community. So this will be 6 years at another $5,000. So thank you so much for that and believing in our student body, because we know that's a direct investment in our city as well. Thank you very much. We love getting it.
Good evening. I'd like to congratulate Wayfair Family Services, DBA Lilliput Families.
Hi, Arlise Laurenti here on behalf of Wayfinder. I actually don't supervise this program, but I'm here to stand in for the folks that do, and I just want to say thank you so much. This means a lot to our families and children that we're able to serve, so thank you for your generosity.
Thank you.
One, two, three.
And last but certainly not least tonight, Placer County Law Enforcement Chaplaincy.
I'd like to extend our thanks again to the Grants Commission and to the City of Roseville for considering us among these fantastic nonprofit organizations that serve in this city. So far in this last year, my 28 volunteers have put in just a little over 35,000 hours of availability for community service, which includes not just our emergency call-outs, of which we have just about 300 a year, and about 70, generally about 75 of those are within the city of Roseville itself. So we come in, obviously, at a very inconvenient time for families and work primarily behind the scenes. So we appreciate this ability to come in, have a public face, and thank you all for your generosity to us.
One, two, three.
Commissioner Perez. Renee.
Stand up, Placer.
Sorry, we have one more. Can we do one last one? We didn't forget anybody. Thank you so much.
It is very much my pleasure to congratulate Stand Up Placer.
Hello,
everybody. This is definitely our favorite night of the year, isn't it? I just wanted to thank you so much on behalf of Stand Up Placer. You are stepping up and truly helping to save lives. Our latest project with our increased collaboration with the police department and getting someone embedded is definitely helping domestic violence survivors. But as all my community partners know, one of the really neat things that happens when you start working more deeply with other agencies is that all of a sudden the people look for other ways that they can work with each other and other ways to help people. So one of the coolest things that happened recently was, even though we are specific to DV with this particular grant, is that Roseville police officers have started to call in for help for sexual assault clients who have chosen not to go through with a forensic medical exam. That means that no SART team will be activated. And they still want to make sure that people get help. So to me, that's just the beauty of collaboration and partnership. It's the things that we didn't expect. You know, we expected certain things to happen, and they have. But the things that are cool that we didn't expect to happen are just amazing. And I know that that's true for all of us. Every time we work together, we find new things out about each other. We find new ways to help make lives better in the community. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
One, two, three.
Real quick, I just want to make sure that everybody here received a check. Okay, thank you. Don't want to forget anybody.
Bruce, no, we're not giving you a check.
No, you know what? What's your name?
Louise.
You said it perfectly. This is a lot of people's favorite night of the year and one of the most gratifying nights of the year. Since I was outed earlier, Bruce Aldershelt, Vice Mayor for the City of Roseville. You know, on behalf of my colleagues, each of us contribute and joyfully contribute to various charities in our time and resources. You know, I promised Mike Boone that I'll be at the next event because we were out of town at the last one. But I wanted to thank you all because this process I know is laborious, but it's a labor of love that you do. And our nonprofits in the city, those who receive checks tonight, those who don't even apply, are really the soul of this city. And they are to be commended for all they do. And on behalf of the City Council, we don't have a resolution, but I just, you know, I think on behalf of my colleagues, the Mayor, Krista Bernasconi, Councilwoman Pauline Racucci, Council Member Scott Albert, Council Member Tracy Mendonza, I think we'd all recognize and thank you for your service, and thank you, all of you, for what you do in the community.
Quick, before we move on to the next item, I just wanted to quickly recognize the other folks that did that weren't able to make it tonight, so I'll just read them out real quick. Roseville Police Activities League, Lighthouse Counseling and Family Resource Center, Silver Wishes, Inc., Sierra College Foundation, Seniors First, Inc., and the Boys and Girls Club of Placer County.
Yeah, I just want to echo all the thanks, fellow commissioners, as well as all the nonprofits, all the good work that you guys do in the community. It's awesome. We did start last year, and we'll see about our agenda for this coming year, to have an opportunity for you guys to share after the program, the full year cycle ends. You have a report that you file. So if this is your first time getting a grant, August of next year, since you've just received the grant, but if you received a grant last year, it's coming up next month, there is a report that you do need to file. And then following that, we had different groups come in and share about the programs that they did. So that's also a really good night or meeting afternoon. So just want to encourage everyone, and now that we have the additional funding, please, kind of a disincentive perhaps, but share it with those that weren't here for opportunities that we have, and just the collaboration, as Louise mentioned. We heard that last year as well, but it's so neat to learn about all the other programs and how you guys can work together and further those benefits. So thank you.
We do have a few more things on our agenda, but I don't know if we want to take a pause because probably many of you want to take off at this point. But you're welcome to stay if you'd like. Congratulations. Thank you. Sorry we didn't let you know sooner. Sorry we didn't let you know sooner. Sorry we didn't let you know sooner. We should have given you guys earlier notice, but okay. Good to see you, Bruce.
Will my head get shaved on this one?
Yes, thank you.
9.
I think we'll head into our next agenda item, which is formation of a subcommittee to refine the application requirements. And we need no more than 3 to serve on this subcommittee. And the item, do you want to say anything, or I can just kind of review what's here? Okay. So we're going to be looking at applications and scoring, the required items attached to the application, and improvements in the annual workshop. And we'll want to be working on this and then submit. I don't know if we had a date for when we wanted to submit recommendations. I know we had talked about it.
It's on the draft funding calendar for October 11th.
So we'd want to meet, whoever's on that subcommittee would want to meet, one or more times so they could come back and present at that time. So as it works out, let me, before we talk about who would be on the subcommittee, are there any questions or comments from the commission?
Is it time for me to comment on the calendar? Not yet. Tricia?
That would be 6.5.
So hearing none, or unless you want another minute. Okay. So there are 7 commissioners. Unfortunately, our youth commissioner. Well, we welcome your input formally being part of the subcommittee. It's I think, for voting members, and you will be, although you'll still be on by this time because you won't cycle off till later in the fall. But there are 7 commissioners, and I know not everyone sent you their preferences, but did it work out that we have 3?
Yes, because Commissioner Haywood was not able to be on either one of the subcommittees, so yes.
Okay, well then I guess that would be, I'm sorry, Renee Perez, Commissioner Perez, Commissioner Reed, and myself.
Correct.
All right, so we probably need a motion for that. So I'd entertain a motion to appoint the 3 of us for that subcommittee.
So I move to approve Commissioner Reed, Commissioner Carroll.
Perez. Yes.
Perez, I'm sorry.
See what I started? I'm sorry.
Serve on the subcommittee to review the existing application.
Okay. All right, it has been moved by Commissioner Gibson. Do we have a second? And you can second even if you're on the committee. I don't know that I'm, as the chair, supposed to be doing that, but if anyone else would like to second, even if you're listed on the group, that's fine.
Commissioner Perez, second.
Okay, thank you. It has been moved by Commissioner Gibson and Perez to appoint Commissioner Perez, Reed, and Carroll to the subcommittee that will look at the upcoming funding cycle questions, application questions, scoring, and other items presented in this council communication. Is there any additional discussion? All right, all those in favor of that motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed by saying no. Motion passes. All right. So now our next item is election of chair and vice chair. So I don't know if we need any background or want to have discussion.
Maybe staff could just give us a quick, here's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if anyone would like to nominate anyone for chair or vice chair, they can do so, and then you'll make a motion. I did get an email from one commissioner that offered to be vice chair. I don't know if you want to hear that information now.
Yes, please.
It was Commissioner Chris. He said he would entertain being vice chair.
Okay. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and comment. I'm happy to rotate off. I've had a busy work schedule, and serving as vice chair last year and chair this year has been a distinct honor, but I'm ready to be just a regular commission member. So could I ask if Vice Chair Gibson is interested in serving as chair?
Yes, I would be happy to if the rest of the commissioners agree, if there's no one else that wants to jump in.
And then I was going to say if Commissioner Reed or Commissioner Perez would be interested as vice chair. Commissioner Chris, which was nice that he had offered, he just rotated off being chair 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So if you guys would be interested, I think that would be nice to have an opportunity for someone who hasn't done it. And we need to vote on them individually, or can we propose a slate?
Either way is fine.
Okay. And as chair, can I make a motion in this? Technically, I probably am not supposed to.
As a chair, you're not allowed to make a first. You can make a second, just as a general proposition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Commissioner Perez. I'll throw my name in the hat for vice chair. But I'm not offended if you'd rather have Chair Chris, or Ed Chris. I knew I was Chair Chris when I came.
All right. Could I be so bold as entertain a motion for a slate of candidates to include Chair Gibson and Vice Chair Perez? If someone would like to make that motion, I'd be happy to second it.
I'll go ahead and make a motion for the chair to be Commissioner Chris and the vice chair to be Commissioner Perez.
Chris or Gibson?
Gibson.
Gibson, sorry. I was looking at you.
I second the motion for Commissioner Gibson to serve as chair for the coming year and Commissioner Perez to serve as vice chair. So it has been moved and seconded. Is there any additional discussion?
Thank you.
Good job. All right. All those in favor of Commissioner Gibson and Commissioner Perez serving as chair and vice chair for the coming year, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please indicate by saying no. Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right. So now we are at the next item, which is adopting the 2023-24. It's hard to imagine. It just flies right by. But anyway, 2023-24 work plan, funding cycle, and calendar. And we have an attachment for that. I don't know if you would like to share anything, or we can move right to questions.
I don't have anything to share. I know Vice Chair Gibson had some questions.
So the only comment I have is the other commissioners think that if in October the subcommittee reports on proposed changes for the application and guidelines, and we review them in the same meeting, that seems like we're not all having the ability to digest it, and we're not looking at a complete modified package. You know, I would think that we'd get those recommendations, you'd modify the guidelines and application per their recommendations after we have a discussion, and then maybe that, is it too late to approve them in November, I guess is the question.
I don't think so, because the application goes out December 5th, so I think that's fine if we move that down to October 11th. I'm sorry, if we move it from October 11th to November 8th.
What do the rest of you think? If we're getting new information in a meeting, it'd be nice to digest it and not have to look back and forth and say, okay, this question has changed, and, you know, give staff a chance to organize it.
I think that sounds like an excellent idea.
Agree.
That's the only comment I did have, Tricia.
Yeah, I'll move that down. I don't think I realized that was on there, so I do apologize.
And maybe this is per Commissioner Carroll's, this is where we're going to review and approve your in summary. Is this where you want to invite people to talk?
So can we chat about
jamming
that?
too many things in there?
Yeah, I mean, I liked having that meeting, but since we're having this ARPA expedited.
How we can fit it in.
Yeah, I hate to lose it, but it is, yeah. But we're not having a meeting in August or September. Was that on our other calendar that we approved last time?
Because we're in subcommittees.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I want to look at what we said. Because I think we had kind of said, let's list them, and then if we don't need them, we can, cancel them. But it's easier to have it than... Oh. Actually, I don't think it was last time. It was the time before last, which I think I have. Because as I recall, last time we did it in September, and Tricia, you weren't here.
I wasn't here. That's why that was the only agenda item.
Yeah. I like being able to do that. So I don't know what you guys think. I need to find where we had approved our calendar for this coming year. I thought we may not have kept August, but I thought we had kept a September.
We didn't. We had are you talking about for this current draft that we're looking at? Are you talking about?
I thought, because we had, didn't we have another calendar where we talked about doing the check presentation tonight and meetings in the future? Not this one right here, but I thought in the past we had already had something.
I mean, the only other one that we have is from 22-23.
Okay, and did it stop with July? Mm-hmm. So we haven't approved this.
No,
so
that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, so we could add. I would be. I know, in the past sometimes this commission hasn't had as many meetings, but I think there's good reasons to have meetings. It's not like we're just up here. So I mean, I think in my mind there's two opportunities. One is that chance to hear from the community, and I think that's a nice opportunity for them and for us, and we televise that, so for whoever's watching. And then if by chance since we're having the meeting anyway, if there are any subcommittee clarifications or anything like that, that is a chance to not necessarily act on them, but just to raise awareness or clarification. See a meeting in September to showcase these would be people who receive the funds, and the cycle is ending for them this month, and then they'll do their report in August. So what do others think about that?
How many did we have come? I must have missed that meeting. How many did we have come speak?
Oh, we had a lot. Yeah, I want to say close to 20.
Really?
Yeah. I would say as a newer commissioner, that was another very powerful, informative and enlightening meeting to get to see what the boots on the ground do. So that was kind of cool. I just don't want to vote for a September meeting if I'm going to be out of town for a work conference. Let me check and see when that is.
Do we know if we have room availability for the council chambers? Because that wasn't conceived when this schedule was put together.
Yeah, so everyone can look at their schedules. I'll grab.
I can submit.
Would it be second Tuesday?
Yeah. I can see if it's available.
I don't think I have. Let's look.
I'm available and good with that.
What's the date?
September 13th.
Yeah, I couldn't do the 20th, but I could do the 13th.
And I agree with you too, Commissioner Perez. Coming in during that meeting, that was one of my favorites as well. And I know some of the presenters provided material for us to read, infographics, or just kind of bring more awareness to their organization and for us to meet. So
it was a nice extra touch for the nonprofits to be able to illustrate what they do that they can't necessarily invite us for a site visit.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
The chaplaincy, I don't want to go see that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's an opportunity for them to hear about the other organizations and kind of promote that collaboration as well.
Yes.
And I think it's also accountability, too.
So it does look like the council chambers is available, and I'm available. And it sounds like Commissioner Perez is available?
Yes.
Okay, so I can add that as a September meeting agenda item.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing consensus, so.
Sure.
Yes, so be it. Very good. All right. So anything else on here when people were reviewing it? No meeting in December, but we do have the grant applications for the normal cycle opening then. We know we have the extra $350,000 in addition to whatever the interest funds that would be available on both CBH and REACH. So could I ask a question, since we'll have the ARPA funds of $350 plus the traditional CBH and REACH funds, and ARPA has to be City of Roseville, I guess we just have to, we have to be even clearer perhaps when we designate. In the past, with the REACH, we've kind of not been as, okay.
Well, with REACH staff, we figure out which one the REACH money goes to. It's such a small amount that it's usually just an increment, of someone's funding. So,
But
we do that
I think in the past with the CBF, while we've tried to encourage funding staying in Roseville,
some of the organizations we award to, it hasn't necessarily been exactly that. So with the ARPA, we do need to be more particular.
And that goes to when the subcommittee is looking at scoring and things like that, then that will really help determine who should be getting the ARPA funding and who could be getting the CBF funding.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Oh, can I just add a comment? So
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
November meeting with the youth commissioner interviews, is that meeting televised or is it closed session?
That part, I think technically it's open, but we normally have it, we had it here last year, but in the past we've had it in another location, and it's not televised. It sounds like, Jonathan, you wanted to comment.
That portion isn't televised, and it's normally meant to be more of a closed-door meeting, but it is a public Brown Act meeting, so it's technically open to the public, but it's not the portion that we televise.
Okay.
I have a quick question as far as youth commissioners. Ryan's role with the subcommittees, is he able to pick one and participate, like sit in on it, that type of thing?
Yeah, I don't see any issue with picking one and staying in that lane and adding his valuable input, sure.
Okay.
I had that question too, just because the voting thing and all that. So
Yeah, you know what, I'd be curious if you have a preference, because on the one hand, I think with the expedited cycle group and having just 3 people, like from last year, you were able to provide input, on what you thought of the different grant applications. On the other hand, I know it's a super compressed cycle, and I'm not sure what your interest is in that, but I think that actually would be welcome if that aligned with your interests. But what would you like to do?
I think I could do either. I think I just, like as a first-year commissioner, I don't have as much experience with the cycle and things in particular, so I think I would probably gravitate towards the ARPA subcommittee, but yeah, I could help out with either.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool, unique opportunity. I like that for you.
Great. Yeah, so let's, if you would lean towards that, and we're okay with that here, I think, yeah, it's not a formal thing, so we don't need a motion, but I think we would. Do we, for the subcommittee, well, Commissioner Gibson, you're on that subcommittee, so you would know to include Ryan in those meetings. And
I think you're setting up all the meetings.
What we're going to do is, and yeah, we failed to mention this, so I'm going to kind of, I'll be along with the ARPA group, and Heather has generously said that she'll go along with the refinement group. It's nice to have staff at each one of the meetings. We assume they'll be virtual. It'll be a lot easier for us to meet kind of whenever. And so, yeah, I'll send out emails to the ARPA group and ensure that I include Commissioner Lung. And Heather will do the same. We'll figure out, when our first meeting will be, and then we'll kind of, do meetings from there.
Okay. All right. Based on that, so we're adding the September meeting, September 13th, for reports from the grant awardees from the 21-22, would it be? No,
23.
No, it's the year before that.
21-22.
Yes, okay. 21-22.
It's very confusing.
Because they're ending in 22 this month. They'll do their report in August, yeah. So would we be able to send them something out, their contacts and email?
We'll send an invite.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll ask for RSVPs as well, so we'll have an idea of how many are coming.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, and before I forget, could we also let council know that we're going to have that too? I think that would be nice. That's kind of still a newish thing, so just if they knew about it, whether they want to come or not, it's just nice to have that opportunity and reminder. Okay. Any other questions or suggested changes to the work plan calendar? All right, so the 2 that I've noted is moving the third item in the October agenda down to the November, which is review grant guidelines and application, knowing that we're going to be getting the subcommittee recommendations in October, and that will give us time to review and adjust as needed for the following
meeting, and then the September 13th meeting. So I would entertain a motion to accept this then with those changes.
Commissioner Perez, I'll make a motion to accept the changes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gibson seconds.
Okay, it has been moved by Commissioner Perez and seconded by Commissioner Gibson to accept the work plan calendar for 23-24 funding cycle with the noted changes that we just discussed. Any additional discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor of approving this as adjusted, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed by saying no. Motion passes. Thank you.
Send out an updated calendar to everybody, the approved calendar with the changes.
Great, thank you so much. All right, well, we're at the time now for commissioner and staff reports. I don't know if staff has anything they want to share.
I think I've shared plenty tonight.
We did have a meeting with our communications group to talk about Ryan's suggestions about engaging social media channels and other ways to get the word out. And so they offered to take that on, starting, I think, with as soon as we're done tonight, for us to circle back with them to talking about the ARPA cycle, as well as engaging them for, I think we're probably going to do a post about the check presentation and some other things. So hopefully you'll see those come out soon.
Yes, thank you. I did want to thank Commissioner Lung. It was a great idea, and it really kind of sprung forth a lot of really good ideas about getting information out to the community about the Grants Advisory Commission. So we're going to start with, like Jonathan said, we're going to start with tonight's check presentation, and then I think Monday they're going to do, like I mentioned earlier, a media blitz and get the information about ARPA out as well. So yeah, great idea.
I also just wanted to add, if they needed any help with anything, I'd be able to go ahead and help out if they need any input, like on the commission side, anything like that. So yeah, and super excited for the idea. Yeah, sounds amazing.
Yeah, we will let them know. Thank you.
Follow-up question for the post, Jonathan. Is that on a certain platform?
We haven't identified a specific platform, but I'd imagine it'd be through our normal social media channels, which include things. I think we have a new social media channel, in fact, Simplicity. I saw a poster today. It's a new, Roseville specific community information app. But I think our traditional channels are Facebook, maybe Nextdoor.
I think Instagram. Twitter.
I'm just listing social media platforms.
No, but we have all of those. We have all of those that we mentioned. So yeah, I just don't have a whole lot of social media, so I don't follow it. But yeah, so we will be getting it out there all over the place.
Great. Yes, and thanks again for the great suggestion. All right, any commissioner reports?
I would just like to thank Chair Carroll for doing her thing for us, leading us on. I appreciate it.
Happy to serve, and it's been a pleasure.
Glad you'll still be on the commission.
Yeah, no, I'm here for another few years, so. Just want to remind everyone, this is the time where we can, I was going to say we can go do site visits, but if we have ARPA.
That's an interesting question that.
Yeah. Sorry, all sorts of new little.
No, that's a great point. I would say that as soon as the ARPA cycle goes live, which is next week.
Yeah.
July 18th.
I think it would be safe to say that apply the same rules that apply to our normal cycle about site visits, unfortunately.
So, yeah.
Would that just be for the subcommittee, though? Or would it be everybody?
No, because ultimately it's going to come back to the full commission.
To vote.
Yeah.
All the more reason, I think, to have that September meeting then. We may even want to share that with the September meeting, I don't know, the invite or something to say, because we have this ARPA cycle, we can't do our site visits. We strongly encourage you to come and share at this meeting.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I should have thought about that earlier, but at least we didn't leave going out to contact these groups. So, all right. Okay, well, if we don't have anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Perez, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Reed, I second.
All right, it has been moved by Commissioner Perez and seconded by Commissioner Reed to adjourn our meeting. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, indicate by saying no. All right, motion passes and we are adjourned. Thank you all very, very much.
Thanks, everybody.